G'day guys and welcome back to Jans_Gaming for another Dokkan Battle video. So for today's video I wanted to run through the best hidden potentials for the three new units that we've got. So obviously we've got the STR Beast Gohan, the INT Gammas, and then also the AGL Krillin 18. So amongst these three units I actually think there is really obvious hidden potential builds to go for them. So we'll run through that now. So when thinking about hidden potential, you really do want to heavily look at super attack effect and their passives. So for the super attack effect of Gohan, you can see on his 18 key you get the raised defense for 4 turns, and then on his 12 key you get the raised defense for the 1 turn. So straight off the bat that should be leading to you thinking this guy needs to be getting as much additionals as possible, because with each of those supers you're going to be getting extra stacks of his defense. And as we scroll down here through his passive, you can see that he has multiple batches of damage reduction. We've got it there, we've got it there, we've got it there as well. So you can combine that sort of mid-turn defense with the damage reduction, and this guy is tanky as crazy. So the other key part to look at in Gohan's passive is you can see he's got the 40% crit there. He's got an additional 20% crit there. An additional 20% crit there. Like, this Gohan has got crit coming out the wazoo. So not very much need to give him crit, but then you can also see that this Gohan does get quite a bit of his passive from receiving attacks as well. So you can see you get the all allies 3 key after receiving an attack, you get the extra key after receiving an attack, and that really diminishes your need, I guess, to give him dodge. So with all of that being said, the best way to build this Gohan is definitely to go full additional, as much additional as humanly possible. Then raw stats. I think raw defense, combining that with his damage reduction, is going to be super impactful. That's then going to leave you with a couple of nodes to free up, and I would just recommend probably going the usual 3 dodge. I always do like to have 3 dodge on a unit, even if they do need to get hit, just because there is the off chance that that could save you from a super. But then from there, I would be going full the rest crit. So all additional, 1 dodge, rest crit. As I mentioned, the dodge isn't overly impactful because he's so good defensively, but then the crit's not impactful because you can build up so much crit from his passive. So full additional is the way to go for this guy here. So then we move on to the INT Gammas. Their kit gets better as they transition into just solo Gamma 1, but it remains pretty similar. So for a super attack effect, you can see on the 12 key we've got attack and defense for 1 turn, and then for their 18 key we've got the greatly raised attack and defense for 1 turn. So this, for the Gammas here, you may be thinking, because they can perform multiple supers, which you can see here you get with the INT key spheres or with the STR and AGL, that you might want to go crit. Personally, I like more the idea of using them as a floating support unit. So realistically, I'm not too worried about what damage they can cause. I just want to be able to get them to transform as quickly as possible. Whoops, is actually this part here. And they can do so from performing 3 or more attacks. So that means if you have a turn where you get your AGL, STR or INT key spheres, you can transform the next turn for these guys. Now, in the occasion where you can only get 1 of those key spheres, I think additional is going to be really valuable for these guys. Not to mention the fact that they also do get this defense on super as well. They are an INT unit, so you can pump up their dodge. They don't have any dodge in their kit, so I think that is pretty valuable. As we scroll all the way through here, you can see they do get the crit chance with the orbs changed in their final exchange into Gamma 1, so I think that very much diminishes the requirement for you to get crit. So in terms of how I would build these guys, I would be going probably, I think 20 something dodge. If you've got all paths unlocked, I'd mainly prioritize dodge while also giving them. I'd like to get their additional to sort of about 15. So when you're getting off these multiple attacks, if you have your additionals at 15, that's then going to give you multiple 30% chances to get the extra attack as well. So I think that would be a high enough additional percentage, I guess, to be able to activate their standby skill. As I mentioned, these guys' best feature is rocking them as a floating support, I think, with how good superheroes is. So, yeah, building them as defensively as possible is going to be really valuable. So, just to recap, as much I'm going with a majorly dodge build with a little bit of additional as well. I don't see any need to put crit onto these guys here. And then the final unit we've got here is the AGL Krillin and 18. So for their super attack effect here, you can see they do greatly raise attack and defense and lower attack and defense as well. Really good super attack effect there. As for their passive, you can see they've got the 30% chance to dodge there. And then, where is it? Here it is. So they also get an additional 30% chance to dodge there. So they got the 60% chance to dodge straight off the bat. And then they get an additional 30% up to 90% with each attack evaded. So getting those dodges off is going to boost up their stats. They then get the additional attack and defense within the same turn before the character receives an attack. So if you dodge that, you can avoid that. And then they have the 2-turn support buff. So I think these guys have just as obvious of a hidden potential build as Beast Gohan. They're a banner unit. Their stats aren't insanely high, so there's no need to go with crits. These guys are going to be a full dodge build. I would be giving them as much dodge as humanly possible. You're going to be rocking them as a floating support. I can't see any time where you're going to really be running them on rotation. So as a floating support, you just want to build them with as best opportunity to survive as possible. So a full dodge build with these guys, and then for any leftover nodes, I would be going with additionals, because if by the off chance you are able to get off the extra 50% attack and defense, or maybe you can get that debuff to the enemy, that could save you bacon. But more often than not, I think it is going to be the dodges that really show through for these guys. So let me know how you're building the three of them down below. Yeah, let me know if you disagree with my opinions or not. So thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to keep up with the content. And hopefully I'll catch you all on the next video.